Is me on my own today for the Chinese Grand Prix. Robbie's dead, so yeah, you only get to hear my voice today, but I'm covering as a substitute commentator, and I'm really hoping we can have an entertaining race today, because I might need it. Depression setting in with the Spurs game, but you know, support a terrible club, get them sort of results. We do, I think, have a full grid today, so I will be looking to see if is Droftas? Yeah, Droftas is here, so to see if Droftas can actually regain his form and maybe get a bit more luck than he did last week, obviously getting lap 1 involved in lap 1 incidents. He's got a 70-point gap to Chapelele. Now, there's only a couple rounds left of the season, so it's not closed out yet. But he does need to start picking up the points, because if Chapelele is getting P1s every single week, it's going to be difficult for him. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, though, we've got AlphaTauri leading by 42 points to Red Bull. And to be honest, the way that Red Bull are going, that's close. Very close, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on that throughout this race as well, because I'm a big one for the Constructors' Championships. I'm just going to get the stream up for us now, and I will see what you guys are saying. Probably slagging me off, but you know. I hate my internet. And we've got Becca. I'm just coming in to laugh at Tottenham. There we go. Leonardo, first message means Phil in first place. Leonardo, it's a second message. Does that mean he's in second now? And just asking for a friend. You're second message in, so I don't know if that means that you're going to be getting... he's going to get second place. I mean, it's hard to beat these guys as it is. We do have a full grid. I'm going to sit on board with Phil himself. Looking like he's repping a new helmet, actually. Oh god, I almost dropped my phone. The turquoise and silver and black. So yeah, we've got inside information saying Chapelele saying the race is wet, so Droftas is going to want to qualify well. And this could possibly be a P1 for him, really, a possible win. I'm not sure how good he is around here, though, so this is a very, very technical and demanding circuit. And, well, I was going to say it's pad and wheel, but Chapelele and Droftas are both on the pad. Phil is honouring Maradona with the Argentinian colours, yeah. I can see that now. But yeah, respect to that then, because he was a great football player, honestly. He was possibly one of the greatest of all time. Don't know where I'd rank him, but, you know, arguably he has a World Cup win, and Messi doesn't, so... Yeah, so Phil's obviously coming to start his lap. I'm going to sit on board with this... the honorary Brazilian now, and we're going to see how he does take this. Turn 1 is very, very difficult to hit this apex. If you get the braking slightly wrong, you can overshoot. If you brake too much, you're cutting him way too early, and it can lose you so much time. But looking like he's hooked it up pretty nicely around here. You really want to hook this up and get a good exit. I don't think he's quite maximised that, but it'll do for now. I think it will probably get him through if he keeps this up. And this double left-hander coming on the exit of the second left is very, very easy to invalidate. He's managed to keep it on track. We've got yellow flags in sector 3. That is a McLaren keeping out the way of drivers. A little bit deep into this corner, coming round this very long... I don't know what it's called, just almost a NASCAR corner, really. But he's looked like he's hooked out quite well. He's obviously going to be setting the benchmark for today in this Ferrari. Hopefully he can do better than Ferrari did around here in real life. hopefully Fatality doesn't hold him up too much. Fatality is starting his lap, and it doesn't look like he is. Maybe a little bit dirty air could affect him, but he's going to get that slipstream, and he's going to go into P1 with 21.9. I'm not sure if that's a good time yet, but we will see in a sec. We've got Liam, coming round the final corner. So let's see what he can do. It's going to be a 30.9, so maybe Phil is smashing it at the moment, but if you guys have any information you want to give me, do dump it in the comments, or any predictions, because, you know, I'm on my own here today. I wouldn't mind a bit of conversation in the comments to keep me and you entertained as well, because let's be honest, I'm not the most I'm a bit monotone even when I do try. So we've got another Phil gang. The Phil gang's slowly coming back. Maybe he's earned their respect again or something. But we do have Andreas coming around the final corner now. He's going to be setting another time. Phil looks rapid today. A whole second quicker. Oh, there we go. Droftas with a 29.5. But to be honest, Phil looks on the pace, because Droftas ain't no slouch. Dan Murphy with a 30.5, so maybe a 29 was a very good time. Abbasus with a 30.829. So we're looking at the 30s at the moment, but whether we're going to be getting rain at the moment, we had to talk before this race. What is this Project Phil? But I think he's slowly, he's coming around, he's getting quicker. We do have Tango on a lap. He's invalidated. Emerson is back for his 4th race running now. But he is going to be looking to shake up the positions between Droftas and Chapelele. Obviously, he has every right to do so. Obviously, those two won't be too happy about it because they want their fight to themselves. But when it comes down to entertainment, it's brilliant. Here he comes across the line, and it's a 29.6. So not quite on par with Droftas yet, but only a 10th off. So we will be looking. And we don't have Chapelele out of the pitch yet. We've got Farhad on a lap. This man's come on leaps and bounds throughout this season. Seemed to be struggling quite a lot at the start just to keep pace with everyone, and now he's seen himself compete within this top 10. In terms of the relegation battle, I think he's safe-ish. He is still in it, but no, he's definitely improving. He's one to watch for next season if he does stay with us. There's going to be a lot of changes next season. Obviously, we'll be losing quite a few drivers, but hopefully we'll be gaining quite a few. Obviously, the turnover in leagues nowadays is very, very high. Phil is better because he changed mental coaches. Now look that Leonardo is his new coach, he is a better at mental strength. There we go. Inside information for you. Maybe he should do something with Albon as well then, because that guy is just interesting. FTH, another reserve, you see. So we've just filled in the spots recently, and I can't see him maybe going past Q2, but yeah, he's definitely improving from his Bahrain performance, which was, what I could say, just left a lot to be desired. Not one of the best, really not hitting any of that apex though, so I'm not saying this is going to be the greatest of times. So we do have the papaya orange McLaren of Dan in the background just behind him. Whether that's going for another lap or not, I'm not too sure. But here we go, FDH. Tango's lagged out the session. He did say something about his connection earlier. And FTH is going into P12, almost 4/10 off the slowest time. Now, Chapelele is on his outlap. For some reason, he's on the mediums. So maybe it's a soft hard or soft medium strat. I know you can probably do the soft mediums around here, because I have taken the hards the whole race before. So, but we're on board with Kingsholm now. Another driver who has made his return since last season. Took a little bit of a break, but he's back now with 31.7. So it will be interesting. Chapelele now setting up to go on his lap. We are going to sit on board with this guy because he does seem to impress with his lap times. So, you know, let's see what he can do. Can he get near Droftas on the medium compound tyres? I would have thought not, but this guy is a bit magic when it comes to lap times. Only 5/10 off the world record time last week, and I mean he impresses every single week. But he's got a big job to do now in terms of catching Droftas. Droftas isn't going to happily lose out on this championship just passing Paulie Orange there. Another driver that improves every single week. He's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Expect to be seeing him at the front very soon. But Chapelele now getting these hooked up, these double left-handers now. This is where it matters. You can lose up to 5/10 if you just get these corners wrong. He's not got them perfectly, but this is Chapelele, so maybe this is a new line that no one's ever heard of before. But here we go, coming down the very, very long back straight. Emerson has retired. He's confident that he's going through. And we will be seeing what Chapelele does. I'm a bit curious why he's on the mediums in Q1, but actually, it's a wet race, isn't it? So it doesn't matter about the mediums. And here we go, using all of the track. And he's in P9 with a 30.6. So yeah, no. I think there's a couple places that he could have gained in that lap. Not saying I could have done any better, but yeah. Obviously the mediums are a lot slower than the softs. I'm not sure what the delta split is though on them, so I'm not really sure where he should have been or if that was a good time. So what I'm going to do is actually put on the detail and show you guys how many laps everyone's gone on. I really wish I got a drink now. I'm giving myself a headache talking this much. For God's sake. But here we go. Paulie Orange got his esports helmet on. He's turned all of his assists off this game, and apparently, according to my inside information, this guy was competing against the best last season with some assists on, sneaking some alright results against these guys, but being told now he is getting back to what he used to be at, and it is almost guaranteed he's going to make that soon. So we will be seeing what this guy does. I think it will be a top four time. If I can speak English, that would help as well. But here we go, coming across, well, round the final corner, across the line. It's going to be a 30.3. It's a top 5 time. So that field time on the first lap, that's quality. Really, I was saying, maybe it's not that great, but he really has proved me wrong. I've got energetics stopped on track, being him. If anyone, you know what, they should really release like a film or something, just the life of energetics, see what goes on. Like, you know, that Inside Out film, just be nice to see what is actually going on inside his head sometimes, because God knows. Here we go. Droftas has also retired from the race. And Gunman getting a lot on that grass, really messing up the second final corner, that hairpin. And this is not going to be a good time for him, no. And he's coming into the pits, and Gurman is a man who's really seemed to struggle with qualifying this year. He's been absolutely smashing it in other leagues. But he's just not been able to hook it up in these lobbies. Whether that's maybe he's not as confident or just not as much practice, but yeah, you can really tell the difference if you do, if you are on board for keeping tabs on his other performances. Knowles is retired from the race, not the race, qualifying. He's on in P12, so he is in the danger zone, realistically. But yeah, real energetics is. And Phil has retired as well, so that's the top 3 out. We also started supplying a new medicine for Phil called Rebate. Well, Rebite, Brazilian medicine all truckers use, really healthy. Yeah, I feel like I can back that. It's definitely really healthy. Yeah, I totally wouldn't have thought there's any hard drugs in them or anything. But no, yeah, maybe Phil will actually change his nationality to Brazilian one day. If he wins a race, maybe he'll be allowed, but here we go. Not quite in that apex there, energetics, and it's maybe a 10th there, but is it going to be enough to get him through into Q2? That's what really matters. Braking there, right point on the start of the curb. I'm just wondering if you could actually, if you were brave enough, could you get that 100-meter board? But I'm not sure. And here we go, energetics coming across the line. It's gonna put him out at the moment if he doesn't do another lap. I'm not sure if he's gonna get around. If he's got enough fuel, FTH and Kingsholm right up each other's arse. An interesting way of coming out, but there you go. Tango in P4. If this man could honestly not lag out, he'd be in for some amazing results. He's a very, very quick driver. Far surprisingly enough, in P3 with a 29.8. I do believe this is one of his favourite tracks. As I say that, he does spin and do Max Verstappen and decide he's gonna catch it again, but that is purely down to the curb and no skill on that part. But Abbasus is in the danger zone now. He needs to really step it up for Red Bull. Red Bull's underperforming here. Chapelele realising he needs to go out on those soft compounder tyres. If he invalidates, he could be in a lot of danger. But here he comes. Red Bull does look very, very, very nice coming down the start-finish straight. Abbasus as well. Going to be coming through these lefts. Everyone getting out of the way quite nicely. And here we go. Getting that nicely hooked up. Looking like he's got quite an understeery setup. Whether that's going to harm him, but he's going to have a quick straight line speed car, so we might be seeing a lot of overtakes from this man today. Here we go. It's just very, very planted, and maybe it's slightly too planted, but here we go around the I would love to know the names of these corners, but you know, I'm subbing in, so oh god, sorry. And for some reason we're looking at the back end of this Red Bull, because apparently this is the camera they wanted to give us. But here we go, qualifying's finished. Is Abbasus going to push his teammate into the danger zone? Here we go. Abbasus is going to come across the line with a 30.1. That's going to get him through. Now, Liam is coming into the pits. Nova could be in danger here if Chapelele does improve. We've got everyone still on a lap, so Nosey could be out. Here we go, Chapelele coming across the line. Oh my lord. And there we go, P2 with a fastest sector 3. I thought that was going to be a very I'm not sure what I was actually talking about. But we've got Energetics doing as usual. Playing Ballerina Land. And we've got Kingsholm 2 tenths up on his time at the moment. He will knock out Knowlesy from Q1 if he does improve and not invalidate it. Here we go. Looks like it's going to happen. Here we go across the line, and he has knocked Knowlesy out of qualifying. That is Gurman out as well. FTH is also out. He's not managed to push himself out. So the drivers we are losing from Q1 is Knowlesy, FTH, Energetics, and Gurman not managing to put a lap together at all. Farf correcting me and saying it's not his favourite track. I would assume that's probably Bahrain then. I think it's one of the two. But yeah, Chapelele obviously putting in that competitive time. He's only 9 milliseconds off Droftas. But I do believe Droftas could probably go quicker. I do think, for me, Droftas is possibly the favourite today, if it's the wet race. I know he'll be feeling himself, if he can do so. We're just waiting on Andreas to retire, and then we'll be off into Q2. Times will be a bit higher than usual because obviously people will be running wet setups. So whether Phil's running a wet setup, this is what we'll find out though, isn't it? Some of these guys might have brilliant qualifiers and then realise, oh, we forgot the right setup. But Farf saying any track that he beats me at is his favourite track. But it's not many then, is it? Because the only one I can recall is, yeah, Bahrain, China and Zandvoort, I think. And only Zandvoort because I got spun. Oh yeah, and I got China, I got spun. Bahrain, I got spun. Yeah, so, you know, got to handicap him some way. But, yeah, we have lost... Oh, we've also lost Nova. I forgot the P16 went as well. Exactly 1 second off the pace. So, we've lost Nova, Knowlesy, FTH, Energetics, and Gurman. Be sad to see them leave. Maybe they can go get a meal or something. Go toilet. Recuperate before the race. And then we will see them back on the grid for the start. I do think it's going to be an entertaining race, especially if it's a full wet race. Here we go. We forwarded your audio saying Phil wouldn't go past Q2. Did I say that? Oh, I did, didn't I? But, you know... If that gives him the motivation. Zandvoort, you got battered. I mean, I agree to... Well, let's agree to disagree, but... Nova saying he's actually done. Not sure what's gone on there with the Haas driver, whether someone's got in his way or... He just couldn't hook up the lap. Nova is a very quick driver. He's come on leaps and bounds through this season. Be nice to see him stay with us for another if he is down, because I do think if he's improving the rate he's improved from last season, he could really be up there with the guys at the front. Andreas being the one getting out the first. And look at this, we've got a little orgy going on over here. Look at them. It's a cuddle fest. There's a mother's meeting over here involving Farhad, Liam, Kingsholm, and a racing point, which will be Farf. So no surprises there on the drivers involved. But so as what is going on here now? Andreas letting through Paulie Orange. Is he gonna let through? So Paulie Orange is now the one in the front. We're having a bit of a conga line going on here. And yeah, everyone's slowing up quite a lot now. Obviously, it's lucky it's a big track here because they all seem to want to get out early. I have a weird feeling there's probably going to be rain at the end of the session, but I'm a bit curious on why Emerson's not come out. Whether he's a wizard or something, I'm not sure. But here we go. Paulie Orange is going to be starting his lap. Doesn't look like Andreas is giving him much space though for a mess up, so he will probably be getting affected by some dirt. Yeah, it's probably very minor, but maybe a tenth over the course of a lap, or especially around the S section in sector 2. But here we go. Coming around here, looking like he's got this hooked up quite nicely. Maybe a little bit too hard on the brakes there for turn 3, but coming around, I can't keep up with the corners anymore, but he's going to be hooking this up quite nicely. I'm not sure if gear 1 is probably better around there, but it does look like Andreas on the map is actually catching him. This is why I would have expected a bit more space. Now, is that Droftas backing off straight away? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it will be, I think. So maybe he's not happy with the space he's got, or the run he's got. But he... Oh God, I can't speak. Paulie Orange going to purple sector 2. Obviously, he's the first one out on the track. But he's going to be obviously the bench mark guy. English apparently isn't my first language, even though I was born here, and I don't know any others. So it's a bit worrying for me, but... Ferraris are looking alright at the moment around China, a lot better than real life. Phil Ray's are really popping off at the moment. Paulie Orange, we know, can do quite a lot. Was very, very quick around France. Whether he can do that is 30.0. Andreas not being able to beat that. Then we've got, oh God, Abbasus coming across. That's a P3. He able to beat that. Elhan. Droftas has invalidated somewhere, but I'm assuming he's going to... Oh, a bit of lag there for Shapalulu. Coming across the line is Farhad. He's going to go into P6. Farf maybe sinking back down to reality a bit more in P7. Just have to get my little digs in left, right and centre. A couple little jabs, you know. But no. Fatality is going to be the next man across the line. He's going to be... setting a 10th place time of 31.7. Now Droftas is coming into the pits. Oh, he probably invalidated this the next lap on the exit. That's what I'm going with. Emerson coming out of the pits now, and doing his lap. So he's going to be probably pushing fairly hard. Well, it's qualifying, Toby. What you want to... But he's going to catch up all this traffic, which is a bit worrying. He's got a purple sector 2. Whether that's actually a purple sector 2 or not, I won't know. But he's got Farf and I think that's Kingsholm in front of him. So how he's going to deal with those two... But Kingsholm getting... There's a little wall here. Farf diving off onto the grass quite wisely because... I'm not sure where else he was going to go because he couldn't really brake and get behind Kingsholm. Maybe the Haas driver making it a little bit more difficult than he needed to for Farf, but we blame who we want. Here we go, coming around the final corner, and I do expect this is probably going to... Oh, I completely missed it. Chapelet did a 29.1. Phil doing a 29.3. Okay, the track is really ramping up, and this Phil... gonna Chapelele lagged out, so yeah, is Phil gonna be able to challenge Chapelele today? Droftas really needs to get some sort of lap together. He's not going to be happy if he doesn't get into Q2. Well, Q3, he's in Q2 now. He's got a little Liam, yeah, behind him, this man, and is a very, very quick driver, but he's been struggling for form as of late. He's a bit in the same boat as Gurman, I think. He was originally in the Williams, but then obviously requested to change car because he couldn't drive the Williams, apparently. Not sure why, but yeah, the Williams wasn't working for him, so he's now in the Renault, teaming with Farhad. The thing is, Renault, I think, is a bit of a cursed car. Renault and Ferrari aren't the nicest cars to be in, especially in this league. They have a bit of a curse over them in terms of constructors. and how people do. But I'm going to sit on board with Droftas. No pressure on him, but I'd like to see how his bottle is, because obviously he is the man to watch. But I do want to see him. I would really like to see a Chapelele Droftas battle. I don't think we've seen it enough this season. Fatality retiring, not on, it's thinking he can't improve anymore, and there we go. Droftas hasn't invalidated his time, so we will be sitting on board with the rocket ship man. Whether he's running a rocket ship tonight is another question, but I know he hates the front wings on these cars, and it's pretty much all in suspension, I think his setups are. But he's got purple sector 1. He's a talent, this man is. He is a big talent. Whether he's going to be able to beat Chapelele's time is going to be something else, because the Chapelele time is looking pretty nice and quick right now. Not quite meeting the apex there on that left-hander. Maybe that's going to cost him 10th or 2, maybe a little bit more. These small errors that we're seeing do cost a lot. It's a purple sector 2. Whether that is real or not, we will see in a bit. I should probably put the lap data on, because that'd be a bit helpful. But I do believe these guys, if they were on their actual setups, would be doing like mid-28s and stuff like that. And yeah, so here he comes. Round the mountain, casually driving, down to 5th, round the final corner. Here he comes, along the line, and it is a 30.0, and that might get him through. It's not going to be guaranteed, because we are seeing that's a 30.5. Obviously, these places I did say he was losing time. He definitely was losing time, because that's a solid 5/10 off his first lap. Chapelele on his out lap again. I think he's just out here to flex on everyone again. Maybe not comfortable with how close VIL is. Not someone he's used to seeing in those positions. But it's a bit of a risk, knowing that he's definitely going to be through and he's going out again. But Emerson has retired now, so he thinks 29.6 is good enough. He's been very consistent with that time, actually. He did a 29.6 in Q1 as well. I need a drink, but he has improved on his time by nearly a 10th in the first sector there. So I do believe this man is going to break into the 28s now. Looking very, very hooked up. I believe we're going to be seeing probably purple going through here. Yes, we are. He's 2 temps up. He's gaining a 10th a sector. Whether he's going to get 3 temps up and go 20. No, that's not the best exit. He may have lost pretty much all of that there. He's not going to be too happy with that exit. But we know Chapelele, it's going to be a 22. Or something, overshooting the final corner as well. He's going to be losing time left and right here. Maybe not the best lap. Yeah, and that's invalid. And it is not it is an improvement, but definitely not a lap he would be happy with. I know this man holds himself to a very, very high standard with the lap times he sets. Even if he does get P1, he'll be like, who tell me, everyone, it's not a good lap. And Farf invalidating his lap. Where have we got? We've got Droftas. Is he going to be coming out of the pits to set another lap? I'm not sure. I do think he's safe, but it's a big risk. He's only a 10th off losing it, and Farhad is going to be out. No, he's not. He's got enough fuel to go around again. Whether he has enough fuel is another question. I've got a massive headache, so after in a minute I'm gonna go and get a drink because this isn't great for me. What are we looking at? With Chapelele cruising around. No one's really on a lap at the moment. We've got Paulie Orange on an out lap. Farhad and... God. Sorry. Farhad and Chapelele on an in lap. Elhans has retired. He thinks he's done good enough. So, come on, Droftash. You know what? You want another lap. Come on. Liam saying he's genuinely surprised he even got through Q1. He hates this track. You know what? It's progress. And here he is, Droftas coming out of the pits, maybe just looking to secure himself in. Those are not fresh tyres, as you can see. They're not super shiny, is a delight. Oh. So, Paulie Orange now going on to his lap now. We are possibly going to see if Droftas really does need to improve in here, but it is getting darker and darker. So I don't think that 29.185 is actually going to get beaten today. Do have a feeling Chapelele is going to get pole though, because just the margin he's beat Droftas's time by. Whether there is a second in Droftas's lap though remains to be seen. Paulie Orange coming around this section, hooking it up quite nicely, almost hitting that apex. And just, yeah, this is looking like a nice and clean lap. It's definitely going to be an improvement. He's 2 temps up. He is going to knock Droftas into the danger zone. Is it going to be like uber dangerous, as I would say? So, here we go, coming round the hairpin now, and he is going to set round the final corner. It's definitely going to be an improvement. It's not going to be a pole position time, but it is going to be an improvement. It's going to put him up to P4 as a 29.7. Droftas is in the pits. That's definitely teleportation. He is safe, I think. Yeah, I think he is safe. Andreas is the one in danger at the moment. And he's not improving either. It started raining. I would like to know though, did Droftas lag out? We've got a wet Q3 it looks like, so... And Abyssus is retired now. Yeah, no one's going to be improving on their times. Droftas is going to get through. Not necessarily the way I think he'd like to get through, but he's got through nonetheless. And there we go. Kingsholm staying in P14, not being able to improve on that position. And Andreas managing to make it through into Q3. Very, very close for him though. Squeaky bum time maybe for the Swede. But Chapelele is on pole. So, well, the Q2 pole. So we are actually losing Farhad, Abyssus, Liam, Kingsholm and Fatality in Q2. They can go and have a snack or whatever they do while they're waiting for the next 10 minutes or so of Q3, which looks like it could be an entertaining one. Oh, God. Trying to keep up with my social life as well as keep up with what's going on here. While we are waiting, I am going to leave you guys for a sec. Hopefully you don't burn the stream down. I'm just going to go get a drink, so please do forgive me. And I'll be right back. So I am back. Looks like you guys seem to all be alive. And our first mover is Chapelele. He politely waited for me. And it is intermediate conditions, as we would have thought. Had to check my mic was on, just so I wasn't being stupid. Phil not getting past Q2. Alright, I was wrong. But where are we thinking Phil's gonna get in terms of Q3? Because it is wet now. Whether he has dumped on his wet setup, it looks apparently no one's got any ERS, which is an interesting one, but oh god, I don't want to see what Tango's doing to his engine. But Chapelele is out first. This guy's a bit of a mad lad in a... But Droftas coming out late, obviously giving himself all the space. Respect the Phil. Yes, I will respect the Phil. I have always respected the Phil. I've been quite a big fan of Phil, actually, this season. Definitely improved, especially racecraft-wise. He's not getting in all the incidents he used to. There used to be a report pretty much every week on him, but now he's calmed down a bit and really improving. So here we go, Chapelele to set the banker time. I mean, it's a big banker time to beat. Because I don't half bet this is going to be a good time, but here we go. We've got the guys queuing up to go through. We've got 2 racing points and an AlphaTauri, then a McLaren, then a Ferrari, then an Alfa Romeo, then a Ferrari, then a Williams, and then Droftas all the way in a little world of his own, having a nice little time. But that is a purple sector one, obviously, for Chapelele going through. And he just does look so comfortable in the wet, Chapelele does. I'm expecting, I think, 40s, 143s around here is, I think, what we're looking at for a good lap time. I could be wrong with that as well. You know, the commentators are usually wrong, but that's usually Maz, and we don't have him today. Overshooting that corner there, he's not going to be too happy about that, and we will be seeing him go out for another run, because we don't ever see Chapelele settle, do we, for a time in Q3. Here we go. These guys would be coming around the final corner just about now. So whatever they're gonna do now, so the wet adds, yeah, about 10 seconds on. So here we go. They are going to be coming around the corner now, and it has hit the 40s, a 42.2, and it's not a bad time at all, as we do have Emerson is the next one, getting very, very wobbly. Going through, he's not going to be beating that 42.2, but he's going to get 43.8. Farf coming across the line next, that's an invalidation. Elhan with a 43.4, 43.1. Paulie Orange there with a 43.4. Phil coming across and around the final corner, he's going to be setting a 43.0. He's currently in the net P2, but we do have a couple more drivers to come across the line. A 43.7, and Farf hasn't managed it. Where is Droftas gonna come? Because this guy dreams about wet races. Not necessarily his favourite, but that's a 42.7, 5-6 tenths off Chapelele. He does seem like there's a couple mistakes in there, but you know, stuff that can be ironed out in the next 6 or so minutes. But the thing is about wet conditions is these guys do not stop going round, because the more and more you go round, the more and more confident you get with your car. And Chapelele will be setting up, I think, for another lap now. And here we go. No, Chapelele isn't setting up for another lap. And was I wrong the way these are going to take it? But Emerson's time with 43.8 has really been shut down, hasn't it? Does seem to be struggling quite a bit. Yellow flags in sector 3, drivers letting others but here we go, Emerson coming across the line again, and it's 43.4, improved by 2 positions there, so not too bad. Farf invalidating another lap, he's not having a good time. Paulie Orange improving again. God, I'm losing track of where everyone is. That's Phil coming across the line again. He's not improved. He's improved by the smallest of margins. He's currently in P3. Brilliant performance by him. But Tango's now put him off with he's got 42.777. Now, is Phil going to be able to beat that? It's going to be a big ask, but he's the type of guy who could possibly do it. Paulie Orange getting out the way for the McLaren. Now it looks like he's going again. Emerson, he's not too happy about his wet time. In terms of where he is and where he would be expected to be, I wouldn't have thought he'd be too happy, but he is 3 tenths up on his time now. He's literally just gaining confidence under these conditions. The more and more he goes, though, the more and more he's going to be used to the race conditions, because apparently we've got a full wet race, so which is going to be very, very interesting. We could be seeing a couple of mistakes left and right, but we have now got another Ferrari letting a Williams go. Emerson will probably improve on this, however much it is. I do believe he'll get a 42 something, but I do believe he'll probably be P4 and push Phil down into P5. But here we go, coming down, it's going to be a 42.9 P4 and pushes Phil into P5, exactly what I said. But Phil is lining himself up for a 4th run, it seems, or a 3rd run. So, oh no, he's coming into the pits now, and Chapelele's strapping on a fresh set. It seems like everyone's now coming into the pits, and they are going to be using one more lap. Now, Farf is the guy in a bit of a pickle here, because he hasn't managed to get a lap together. I don't know if he's that confident in the wet, or he's got a dry setup on. Either or, not great signs for the race, but But you never know, some people just struggle on the starts of the rain and then will get into their element. He does seem to be struggling a lot for grip though, very understeery and very loose on the rear, so I do believe this is probably a dry setup he's got on here, what it's looking like. Maybe being caught out by the conditions a little bit, I'm not too sure, but he's going to be wanting to prove me wrong, obviously, as all drivers do whenever I say anything about anyone. But he's going to be starting his lap. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate this time and can set a competitive lap. Andreas hasn't looked really on it at the moment this weekend, and I don't know if he's going to, I don't think he's going to get another lap in. I think he's coming too late. Droftas is coming round the corner now, and he's not going to be able to go anymore. I'm not sure what in terms of, oh, it doesn't tell me. Right, in terms of his time, I'm not too sure. He's on 0 actually. He's on the same set of inters. So Droftas will be the first man starting. Again, he's in a little world of his own. Elhan is also on his out lap, so he's going to be wanting to improve on that P8 for his teammate. We have lost Abbasus actually, which is a bit of a hit for Red Bull in their quest. And that's actually it for Droftas. He set a 42.3, which I completely missed. But it's not good enough for pole, which is quite surprising actually. But Droftas will, I think, be happy with a P2 behind VIL's own alien boy. Emerson is up on his time currently of by 2 tenths almost. Now he's going to be wanting to secure that P3 and almost get that front 3 lockout that they always seem to manage to do if they can all get into Q3 together. But here we go. He's going to improve on his time more than likely, and we're going to see what he can do. Obviously getting a hell of a lot of wheel spin. Is he going to be able to nab P1? I don't quite think so, but he is going to be able to. There we go, P3 currently. Tango's coming on to another lap though, and Phil is also starting his lap just behind him. Farth has set a time finally of a 43.9, so it does look like he's not going to push that high up. But we do now have Paulie Orange starting his lap. Elhan is coming around the final corner. He's down on his time. Maybe he's setting up for this lap as well. Then we've got Andreas also on an out lap. He has made it round. I was wrong with that. He's got 17 seconds to get across this line. I think he'll do that quite easily. Droftas the first man out of the session. Getting that the latest lap in doesn't really matter all that much in the wet conditions, especially if it's only getting heavier. If anything, it's a bit worse. But Emerson up on his time again by a tenth and a bit, so maybe almost 2 tenths. Well, is he going to be able to push for that P2 slot? I think that's what he's gunning for. But he's got Tango and Phil in front of him. Don't think this is a great time by Phil, because he does look like he's lost quite a lot of time to Tango in front. Or I'm just tripping, I'm not sure, but the problem for Emerson now is he's coming up to the back of Phil. Tango's on pole. That's an incredible lap there by Tango. Is Chapelele going to be able to beat it? It does look like he is gonna, but that's an incredible lap there by Tango, and Chapelele does improve and beats everyone else by 4 tenths. But that's incredible there. And here we go, Paulie Orange, and Phil is actually down into P7 and could fall even further. He is in danger of it. The rain hasn't been the nicest to him. He was up in like the top 3 the whole weekend, and then all of a sudden here we go, and he has dropped down into P8, and he could go even down even further. This is cruel, and I'm not sure if he did. That is very, very cruel to Phil, and he's down into P8, and Andreas gets P9, pushing Favre in to P10. So our grid is Chapelele, then Tango with an incredible lap, really. Droftas, then Paulie Orange, Emerson, Ailhan, Dan, Phil, Andreas, and Favre. Do remember, guys, it is a wet. Don't try and send it on the first lap, please. Sorry about that. And yeah, hopefully we get an entertaining race. I'm really hoping Droftas doesn't get himself wing damage on the first lap. That is something he tends to do, his fault or not, but if he is behind a driver, he does sometimes struggle with keeping his wing intact on the first lap. But it does look like I do hate this new party system. I just thought I'd put it out there. I've been very consistent on that. I'm not sure if these are full wets conditions. I do think it is inters at the start, but whether it's going to change to wets or not is anyone's guess. I will walk you through the grid as soon as we all load in, and we are on the formation lap. I've done all my drinking and everything, so I should be fueled up enough to get us through the first couple of laps before I need to take another drink. But I do believe Chapelele is going to do quite well. Having that one car in between him and Droftas is going to be quite big, obviously. Holding on to the back of someone around this track's fairly easy because of that DRS, but yeah, the second sector can really mess with you and make it a bit more of a struggle to hold on within that 9 tenths to a second to the drive. Actually, DRS doesn't play a factor, does it? Because it's wet. It's not the smartest moment I've had, but you know, I've had many of those. So it is actually full wet. So apparently it's a 2-stop race, a wet, and or we could do a 3-stop and go wet. So we've got Chapelele in P1 with an incredible time yet again, 4 tenths quicker than anyone else. Then we've got Tango in P2, another brilliant showing by this man. Honestly, if his connection was consistent, he would be loving life. He'd be up there. Droftas in P3, he's going to be looking to keep it clean on the first couple laps, hopefully not get caught out by Tango or anything. Paulie Orange is in P4. He is an absolutely rapid driver, and I can only see him getting quicker in the future. Emerson in P5, we know what he can do. Ailhan in P6. Droftas is rear gunner. He's going to be a bit annoyed that he's that far behind Drof, but you know, we know he's a very good second driver. Dan Murphy in P7, one of his better qualifyings of the season, usually finds himself out in Q2, but he's managed to get himself into Q3 here. Phil cruelly dropped down to P8 as everyone else got quicker at the end of the session. Brilliant showing from him so far though. Andreas in P9, not really finding his form late, dropping off after maybe the halfway point of this season. He was in the championship fight at one point. F1 Favre looking very good, but maybe he hasn't got the right setup on or something, because he did look quite a way off the pace in Q3. Farhad in P11, I would say first of the fresh compound road, but everyone's on a fresh compound and he is there. Then P12 Abbasus, P13 is Liam, Kingsholm in P14. P15 is Fatality. Nova is in P16. Nosey is sat there in P17. Watch out for him. He could do some things, especially with the wet race and penalties. FTH KRC is just behind him in the McLaren. Hopefully he's going to be looking for a result around here as well. Energetics isn't the man for the wet. He doesn't like it too much, but we can see what he'll do. And Gurman in P20. These guys are going to be hoping for maybe a safety car or something to get their race livened up a little bit more. And they are just lining up. These black mercs do look brilliant in the wet, though. It's just a bit weird to see them at the back of the grid rather than the front. But I do love these equal cars because we do have a very nice and colourful grid from the view we've got. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. It does look like Chapelelli's got a decent start. Tango and Chapelelli have had a brilliant start. Paulie Orange is up the inside of Droftas. Whether he's going to stick that or not is anyone's guess. It does look like Droftas is trying to keep it round the outside. He's going to have the inside for the second part, and he does keep that position. Moving down the field, we have got Emerson moving up into P5. Elhan holding on to P6. Phil Razor moving up into P7. Dan in P8, and it looks like we have yellow flags, and that is fatality off. And yeah, Renault taking out everything. But we do look like we had a pretty clean start. It's very, very difficult to judge who's where. We've got Abbasus going around the outside of a damaged Andreas, but he has made a little bit of contact there. He's going to be wanting to get through this man as quickly as possible, as the Alfa Romeo does have no right end plate. I'm not sure what has gone on there with that driver, but he's going to be moving around the outside nicely. Tango has disconnected from the session, so Droftas will probably move straight through him, won't he? Giving him a nice and easy position. So Abbasus now still struggling to get past the Alfa Romeo of Energetics. No, and then we've got Farf now lining up a move. Andreas is going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Chapelelli has flown away already. Liam Yet is under attack. A very, very aggressive move over by Nova. Liam Yet is going to go defensive, parking his car, and the Renault sends it up the inside of Farhad, and there's not much he can really do. Andreas has moved down to P14. Something's gone wrong for him there. But yeah, Tango is just plummeting now. He's joined back. I'm really not too sure, but yeah, there's a inter-team battle here between Farhad and Liam. Liam has given up the position, and Farhad has taken whatever position they're battling over now, because it's messed up again. Why they're not fixing this is anyone's guess, but Droftas is going to want to settle into a bit of a rhythm here. Feel the rhythm, feel the ride. It's F1 time. But we've got Andreas in the pits, apparently in P8 and actually rising, because, you know, that's how the pits work. It's like Rainbow Road. It's a new glitch. Now he's a lap ahead of everyone. He's so quick, Andreas. But no, it is sorted itself out. They're training very much. Apparently we're on lap 3. I thought we were on lap 2, but you know, and we are moving. I'm really not sure who to watch because I've got no Delta. Where are we? Detail. So while I've got no detail, we are going to look at the biggest winners and losers throughout the start. So Gurman is the biggest winner with a 5th place gain. Obviously Andreas is the biggest loser with an 11th place loss, but the man who's still on track is Tango, and he's lost 6 places, but that is down to a disconnection. So realistically the grid stayed pretty much the same as we've just seen. Zach Kingsholm off in the grass. He's managed to save it from going into the wall, but he's completely lost the car, and he's going to be looking to a bit of a late move there, fatality. I'm thinking he's trying to move out of the way, but it did look a bit scary the way he's done it. What I'm going to try and do is we want the gaps and we want penalties, don't we? We want to see when penalties are about, because we all know they're on the wets. We all know the positions gained now. We're just going to focus on the gaps. So Tango all over the back of Dan. Dan maybe getting held up a little bit by Elhan. If Tango could sort out his McDonald's Wi-Fi, then that would be absolutely brilliant. Maybe someone buy him a baguette or something for a router. Might be slightly better than his potato he's got right now. But Emerson slowly catching up to the back of Paulie Orange. Whether he's going to be able to get up, catch him is anyone's guess. It's so difficult to pass in these conditions. It does look like Chapelet's just walking away at this point, doing what he does best, and just driving, really. As we've got Tango, I think is going to be looking to make this move on Dan as quickly as possible, but it's whether Tango can't make the move because he's in a three-man train, because you can't send it really too hard on the driver in front, especially when they've got another driver in front, because you've got to watch out for that man turning in. And it does look like Kingsholm's messed it up again, and he is spinning. He's definitely got a dry setup on of some sort, I think. But that is probably the most disgusting sounding cars I've ever heard. Where are we looking now? This is the closest drive, guys, on track. 47.456. That is very quick. The lightning there by Chapelet. It doesn't look like anyone's got any penalties now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip us onto the tyre just a bit more. Makes me feel a little bit less lost. I haven't been the first commentator in probably a year, the best part of a year now, so I do apologise if I am extremely rusty and do miss a couple of things, but I'm doing my best, filling in as a sub. We haven't got the expertise of Maz, although I do like to slag him off. He does know his stuff and is very good at what he does, and I do miss him a lot, actually. Yeah, so we are going to be looking at Tango, Dan and Elhan. It is a battle for 6th at the moment. Problem is it's the wet, so it's hard to see many moves being done. I do think this is a bit of an endurance one here. They are kind of stuck, almost in this Noah's Ark sort of formation here. But I do think Tango will somehow find a way. He just needs to get a very nice run out, and that's yellow flag to sector 2, and Kingsholm again going round. And he is currently not close enough. I think he's happy just sitting behind Dan at the moment, if I'm being honest. Phil has actually made himself up to P5. I think he's slowly getting... Oh god, getting caught up to by Elhan and losing the top 4, maybe falling into the like F1.5 at this point. But I do really like the battling that these guys have got at the moment. Knowlesy moving past his teammate, whether that was team orders or not is anyone's guess. These guys have worked very well as a team this season. I have heard they're not actually in a party though, so this is purely like just thinking about, think about what's best for each other. Very, very good team. It's just they've got very unlucky with finishing positions. The two marks together look very, very nice. They are going to be sticking with this apparently to next year as well, so we will get to see the black marks next year. I do like the message behind them as well. As we do, I can't see any movement actually happening anytime soon. That's the problem. Dan, Dan's not usually the aggressive type of driver. He's not going to make any reckless moves. I'm really hoping he goes to Inters at some point, just so we can get a bit of spice in here. Maybe get that paprika out, or get the herbs out. Add a little bit something to this race, because at the moment they're sort of just training up, splitting up into a couple little groups. We might be having Farhad making a move on Farf. He's held position quite well actually, Farf has, for this. They're both in overtake mode, and oh no, that's a dodgy one. I do know he was trying to avoid that, but if I'm being honest, it's probably one for the stewards, and it is one I would think about. Whether that's getting sent in by Farf or not is something that's going to be looked at, because I am changing around a couple things this season. Even at mid-season, I am going to be looking at stuff on stream and punishing them as well, because at the moment I don't think enough stuff gets sent in, if I'm being perfectly honest. So if I do see something on stream, like something like that, it's just small penalties. It could end up sorting out the positioning a little bit more, because he wouldn't. That wasn't the cleanest overtake, was it? Let's be really honest. Left a lot to be desired. After it just get almost bumper card out of the way, but he's now got Liam on him. Luckily there was no damage between the two of them, and Bath, we're not really seeing much happen. Tango is all over Dan. Dan's actually dropping off at Aohan a little bit now, so maybe Tango has to make this move. He's really reckon this Williams is absolutely chucking it down. These guys can't see anything, can they? The grip levels are going to be almost nothing, and Dan's jetted. Tango's not getting good exits. That's the problem he's having. Emerson is all over the back of Paulie Orange. Whether Paulie Orange is going to be able to keep Emerson behind him for much longer is anyone's guess, but it looks like he's losing the grip, and it does look like Emerson's going to make the move on this back straight. Both of them are going to probably be in overtake mode, and here we go. Emerson's going to be side by side going into turn one. Whether he's going to stick to it or not, yes he is. These are two quality racers, and Emerson does look like he's made that move, but Paulie Orange is going to keep it round the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next part, obviously having to give him the room, Emerson, and giving him a car's width, but having a little bit of contact there and making that move, which was very much fair. We've got some pitters now onto the intermediate tyres. Now they're going for early ones, maybe thinking whether Jeff told them to or not, or whether they think they need something to change. I do think it might be Inters though, because looking at the, I'm just gonna keep an eye on these deltas, and it does, yeah, I do think it might be intermediate conditions now. Which one? But the thing is which one of these guys are going to blink first? Chapelele or Droftas? I think safety, it should be Chapelele, but I don't know. They are, yeah, it's definitely intermediate conditions. I'm looking at the gap between Liam and FTH, and he's just gaining time everywhere now. Chapelele locking up as he does into every corner. In the wets, I think it's somewhere break it, and there we go. Chapelele's into the pits, and that means Droftas will follow. He does like to play a bit of follow the leader, make sure he's safe. Paulie Orange going on, which could be dodgy, and the problem is Phil's now gone on as well. Not the best Ferrari strategy call. Elhan having to go on because he doesn't want to double stack. Dan going on again. Chapelele coming out of the pits, not getting held, I think. Just coming out in front of Emerson. Tango in the pits, Farhad in the pits. Everyone is in the pits. FTH. So everyone apart from the top 5 has come into the pits to set the new tyres. Is Abbasus going to get out of the way though of his teammate? When he gets to the back of him, that's anyone's guess. I'm just wondering if Chapelele is going to pull away even more now. Now he's got fresh rubber on. The way this man does approach these things is very impressive. He's a professional, really, isn't he? Had his spin in the first race, and I think he's got a little bit of his bottling out of the way so far. He's still got 20 laps in the rain to do. Anything is possible. And yeah, Abbasus does get out of the way of his teammate. He does know he's not battling that. And there we go. Chapelele is through into P5. Very good teammate skills there. Got no conversation in the And there you go, Chapelele saying thank you to his teammate with a little weave. Obviously, those two are a very, very strong team, but it's Elham versus Abyssus and Droth versus Chapelele, really, for the constructors. Now, and here we go. Phil's gone on another lap. I'm not quite sure why. This is going to hurt him in the long run. Phil gang, you might want to think about getting in his ear, I think. But no, Chapelele is up into now P3, only 6 seconds behind Dan, and it is gaining very quickly. It's probably going to be about 4 seconds by the time this lap's over. Droftas is losing time hand over fist now to Chapelele, and that man is looking very nice indeed. Abyssus coming out behind Farhad in P10. He has lost quite a lot of time, but he's quite vitally though come out in front of Farf and Liam, because it is very difficult to overtake in these conditions. Now the last two on the wet compounder tyres, I'm wondering what they're thinking now, because Chapelele's gained 2 seconds on them and their lap's not even finished. That's when you know you're on the wrong tyres. But at the moment, we've got Chapelele, Droftas, Emerson looking pretty secure in these positions. Tango is going to be looking to get onto the back of Paulie Orange as soon as he can. We do know he's got the pace in the rain, but whether he's got the consistency to catch this man is another one. In particular, almost spinning there, almost spinala and for the Ferrari man. And that would have been a big commentator curse there. Ailhan pushing to catch as well. Kind of on a little bit of a place of his own, and these guys have now come into the pits. Chapelele setting up fastest time. If we're just going to check, no one's got any penalties yet. Very, very well done to everyone involved. We are going to sit on board with Phil, see where he comes out of the pits, because I do believe he's going to come out behind Abyssus. And you know what, I'm very wrong. He's come out behind Ailhan just. So I think he has lost a bit of time, but now we've got our first penalties cropping up. Farf getting a 3-second penalty. Gurman's got a 3-second penalty now. And I think these guys, they should be alright for now, but obviously Phil, there's yellow flags in sector 1. Elhan's had an issue, a very big issue, where I'm really curious on what that is, because Phil's now past him. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's any damage. No, there's not. So whether there's contact between Phil and Ailhan, that remains to be seen, or whether Ailhan just lost control of the car, because that is a very big time gap. I do believe that is driver error, because I can't see him losing that amount of time in the space, in literally 0 laps. But here we go. Ailhan's now got Dan Murphy on the back of him again. The only difference is Tango has got through the both of them by doing that little pit strategy and pitting earlier than them. Dan does seem kind of stuck behind them. Chapelele getting purple again. Just seems to be getting the Grand Slam this weekend, doesn't he? So we have got Phil just sort of in a little league of his own a little bit right now. With a bit of a question mark over his head whether he's had an incident or not, but either or, he's in P6, going quite well. A very, very strong weekend if it finishes like this for Ferrari, a P4 and P6. They're obviously just trying to get as much as they can. I don't think the constructors is much of a worry for them now. I'm not sure if Dan is ever really going to be able to get past Ailhan, because the rain, he doesn't seem to have the confidence under the brakes or the exit speeds to get past him. I do like the look of this Renault car. It does grow on me every single year. Every start of the season I go off it a little bit thinking it's a bit boring, but by the end of the season, I've just missed Gum, I guess doing his best Bottas impression, and he must have lost grip there going through the S's and keeping out the way very, very nicely and not causing any incidents, which is class from him really, but losing 3 seconds of time. So yeah, he did lose position from Knowlesy there. Chapelet again going purple. He's going to just keep going quicker and quicker, I think. Droftas is, I think, just looking to keep himself in front of Emerson. There's yellow flag in sector 2. Kingsholm is out of the race, and could I see it? I would be lying if I couldn't say it. If I didn't say I could see it coming. Did look like he's struggling a hell of a lot in the early stages of this race. But Dan needs to get his foot down and really try and push Elhan into maybe another mistake or something, because I don't believe we're probably not going to have a safety car the way this is spread out. We have got Chapelet in a little bit illegal of his own, then we've got Droftas and Emerson. Droftas losing a bit of time here and there to Emerson, but I do think he knows what he's doing. Poorly Orange and Tango then together. Then we've got Phil on a bit of it. We've got a bit of a Noah's Ark going on, really. But here we are in the rain, just trying to find some good battles to watch. And we have got another car off. That is Gurman off again. He has spun, kept it out of the wall though. He is struggling a lot, and now Fatality is going to be coming up behind him. It's not going to make that work, but Gurman is not liking these wet conditions at all. He's spinning everywhere, and Fatality is going to go around the outside of him, and he's going to be up to P17. I do believe Gurman is having a bit of a nightmare, and that's what I've been saying. He's not having the best of times around this track. Well, this year. No, we've got Emerson has been dropped a little bit actually by 5 tenths to the man in front, and we have actually got them side by side. Gurman breaking later of the two, making it round, but Fatality is going to have the switchback move as Arava's favourite move. They're going to be going side by side into the final corner. Which one's going to get? Fatality makes it around the outside, having the better run, and it does look like Gurman's going to have to settle, but he's not going to settle. He's a racing driver. What do I expect? And he's not going to put it down the inside. He's probably thinking better of it, not wanting to mess up himself anymore. But this is what we like to see, having a bit of a poor race, but keeping your head in it. Anything can happen, and just battling for the minor positions. That's the hallmarks of a champion, really, isn't it? Never giving up, not retiring when things are going your way. But obviously not in this division. It's not looking too great. But we've got Tango all on the back of. Wait, what? Where's this? We've got Haas. Aha! There we are. This is the Haas and Alpha. We've got Energetics closing up to the back of Nova. Nova has done his one move. Maybe I would argue that's 2, but you know, not being dangerous. Real wheel spin there. A lot of movement on that steering wheel for Energetics. I think he's got the pace on Nova to get past, but whether he's going to be able to is another question there. pit window is now open for the intermediate runners, but I don't think you're going to be wanting to pit right now. I think maybe go to lap 20 and then pit and then do another 8 laps, because can you take these another 14 laps? I wouldn't have thought so. And Gurman is in the pits getting a tyre change, and he's going to be going to the end on a fresh set of inters. He's going to be hoping that will get him past Fatality maybe. And you know, you've got to try these things. Andreas having a bit of a nightmare race as well. He's had a bit of a nightmare season ever since God, I don't even remember where it went wrong. But it's not been too great. Maybe Singapore, I think it all went wrong for him. Kingsholm's left the session. But to be honest, one retirement in 15 laps in wet conditions around China is unbelievably good. These guys are another quality. I can't praise them enough for the way they're treating this race at the moment. They know exactly what they're doing, not making too many stupid moves. I've seen one or two questionable things, but as a whole, it's been good. We're halfway through this race now. Hopefully we don't lose any more drivers, and this will be the best finish we've had all season. And I think in probably the majority of leagues, actually, this would be, well, in any league, this would be an incredible finish. But there's still 13 laps left. It could still go terribly wrong for any driver. We could have a bit of a pile up, you never know. But we do have Energetics all over the back of Nova, and we know Energetics, he's a class act, he is. He does struggle a lot in the rain. I think he's definitely worked on that as of late, though, because he does seem to have a lot more confidence. He used to spin every 2 seconds, and now he's on the back of Nova, and I think he's going to be making this move as soon as he possibly can. Just hopefully he just makes it in the right place. We've got a 7-tenth gap now from Tango to Paulie Orange, so he has pulled him in. So we're just waiting to see when that move will happen. Making the moves over and around. Yeah, there we go. Doing the same thing as Nova did, and just trying to break the slipstream, but obviously it's very easy to follow, isn't it? But yeah, no, here we go. I'm going to keep on board because I do believe that Energetics might be going for a move on this back straight if he possibly can. No, he's way too far back. I'm drunk. So Tango and we've got a 4-tenth gap here actually. But Dan just doesn't seem willing to, you know, lick the stamp maybe, or just have some sort of go. I think he's quite happy with where he's at and just hoping that Elhan makes a mistake and then it'll release him, because I do believe he's quicker than Elhan at this point in time. He's just a bit stuck. Fatality getting a 3-second time penalty as well, and he's not had one of the greatest of seasons, but I think if he does stay to next season, we will be seeing him in Division 2 next season, more than likely. Because we obviously do have FIFA Beefy is guaranteed to come up now. He'll be in Division 1 next season, and it'll be interesting to see how he'll cope with these guys. Obviously he's had a couple races here and there, got himself a couple of points, so obviously it's not going to be competing at the front, is he, with the likes of Chapelele and that, but depending on the drivers that come in and leave, he could be in a nice little position. Yeah, Droftas just falling back off Chapelele. Chapelele's just in a world of his own, really. Emerson now just falling off even more, 3.4 seconds. And Tango is all over the back of Paulie Orange. He's just never close enough. But as you can see, you just do need DRS, don't you? Because or these cars are just stuck behind each other. And they're stuck behind each other, and they have I just think they might just be too grippy. And Gurman is out of the race. He has crashed. I will sit on board with Chapelele. That is our second driver lost, and that is a VSC out, and the car is gone. But I do believe he has lost it in that tyre wall. But that's maybe a bit of respite for some guys, and just to maybe collect their thoughts and just think about what they're doing for the rest of this race. You don't necessarily want that in a wet race. Elhan's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safe VSC, and that's exactly what Dan wanted, this mistake. And it's probably not even by much, but he's going to have to serve that or else he's disqualified. Whether Dan knows this or not is another question, because he does look like he's trying to make this move now. But Tango and Paulie Orange are now side by side, and it looks like Tango's made this move. And yeah, Tango is looking on fine Vettel right now. And whether he's going to be able to catch up to the leading racing point is his next target. And obviously if he didn't have these Androftas and Chapelele in the pits, we are going to be looking to see if Tango or Paulie Orange coming into the pits as well. Elhan, are you going to be serving your drive through this lap? Yes, you are. And that's very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo. Well, it's not Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri driver, sorry, because it's going to cost him big time. Here we go. We're just going to see where he comes out, because I'm just wondering if he's going to go, yeah, I'm going to go 18 laps on these now, because he's now down into P10 behind some drivers who have pitted. It's just not looking incredible for him. Knowles is now up behind him. He has got just over a 3-second gap. Obviously, I do think he will be one of the quicker drivers around this area, because he was up near the front, but obviously now Dan is going to be trying to get onto the back of Phil. Yeah, but Nosey is looking in fine form, and he's going to be really attacking Elhan. Elhan does not look comfortable now. It's incredible. Nosey has made a brilliant race, really, out of something you wouldn't have thought was going to be very easy for him, especially starting down in P17. But we know this guy's a brilliant racer, and Chapelele is getting overtaken. Well, is overtaking Tango actually, and Droftas is all the way back. So Chapelele is so far ahead. He's going to. Jesus. Okay. So, and Tango is now coming into the pits. And Phil Razor now coming into the pits, copying Tango, maybe not making that same mistake twice. But Dan Murphy going on, maybe think he's got the pace to overcut Phil. Obviously a difference, the strategy is very necessary, I think. We are just going to sit on board with this man, just to see. He will get, I think, a purple sector 2. I just need to quickly go back, and Jesus, that was extremely close. I just caught that. Liam just getting out in front of the Williams. It's a bit of a shame though for the Williams driver, because it's not going to be easy to get past this Renault. But he's now got Phil and, well, F1 Faf in between him and Phil. So whether that does anything, but they're going side by side now. Who is going to get through? They're going to go. Tango's going to go around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this stick? Look at him go on the fresh inters, and he just flies around the outside. There we go. And that is a beautiful move there by the Williams driver, just showing his class, really. Yeah. If he didn't have a potato for an internet source, he'd absolutely love it. But no, he's gone for it. He's done bits. I do really need to switch notifications off, because people do spam me. Now, we've got Nolsey on the back of Ailhan still. Ailhan does look like he's getting slightly more comfortable. Chapelele now setting a purple. Going 143, 119. For some reason that really struggled to process in my head. But yeah, the main thing is Emerson's going on. But the more he goes on is the more he's going to struggle to... Oh, and there we go. Energetics getting passed by Farhad. I just didn't see that move, but I'm sure if there is anything wrong with it, that will be in the stewards. But I would like to say it was probably a very clean move, and Farhad has got through on Energetics on the fresh rubber, and we'll be looking to get past Nova now. Nova is still held Energetics behind him. That's very impressive. No, the grip on these inters is incredible. Look at him. He's pushing Nova around these corners. So there we go. That's a move that's going to be made very soon. We will stick on board because I do like this car. I'm just gonna... Right, there we go. And sit on board with Chapelele quickly. I'm going to be switching between them because I do believe that move is going to be made very soon. And here we go. It's going to be moved. That's dodgy. Again, I've missed that. Obviously, we've got our trusty Energetics in the just literally on point for that. A little bit of contact there, but nothing to harm. And Energetics trying to go around the outside of Farhad. Farhad not making it easy though, is he? Energetics probably having the run there, but obviously there we go. Energetic, look at the speed on that car, and Farhad having to tuck in behind. Is he gonna? He's gonna go for the outside now, going around the outside of the hairpin. Is he gonna have the grip to do that? He does. Energetics has a very big wobble, does very well to save that, and he has lost the position. But realistically, a loss of one position is a lot better than ending up in the wall. It's a brilliant save by the Alfa Romeo driver. So we've got Phil all over the back of Farf. Now he's going to be really getting annoyed by this, because the overcut on for Dan might actually work now because of how much he's getting held up. He's really got to just kick it into gear and really get himself past, maybe get some ballsy moves in, because it's drying up quickly here, I think. And obviously Farf isn't an easy man to pass. We all know this when it came to Singapore and he was on the harder compounded tyres. The guys who were maybe even a lap quicker than him couldn't get past him. But we do have Chapelele on the back of Emerson. Is he going to make the move around here? And he's going for the inside. A little bit of contact there, a little bit dodgy. Maybe losing the grip a little bit there by Chapelele, and Emerson's not going to make it easy. I do believe this is for position actually, and Chapelele just cutting that corner and cutting off the nose cone. A little bit cheeky there by the Red Bull man, but yeah, he's made that move stick. Now, is Droftas in the next 6 laps going to be able to make that deficit up? I don't know. Maybe. Wait, what? Why is... Did Droftas not pit, or did he also get a drive for... I'm now very confused, because I thought Droftas pitted onto a fresh set of inters, and apparently he didn't. So this P4 is... Well, he's catching the back of Dan fairly quickly, but I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. Yeah, okay. Something I would like to ask if he makes it onto the podium. He has got 6 laps to get past Dan Murphy. Does look like that means that Emerson is going to be getting P2 because of that. Whether that was a glitch or something, I'm not quite sure. If he did get a drive through, same with poorly orange all over the place, and this is going to open Tango up. And we know Tango likes a good move, and he's not going to go for it, but I think he's going to get him on the straight. Look at he's setting himself up here, isn't he? For a good run. And here we go. And yeah, I think Tango's going to be making this move here. Emerson's actually come into the pits for a new set of intermediate tyres. Tango's coming down the inside of the Ferrari, and there we go. He's made that move on poorly orange. That's a great move there. I'm just wondering, he's onto the softs. That's an interesting one. If that's gonna work, I haven't seen DRS has been enabled yet, so it does still look pretty wet. This is a bit of a ballsy one. I think a little bit too early, and it does look like it was too early. And yeah, no, it was definitely too early. He's made an error here. Maybe he was on the edge with his tyres, but it wasn't the greatest decision. Droftas maybe been a bit blessed there. And actually, am I wrong? I think these guys are going on to the softs a bit early, but yellow flags in sector 1. That is going to be no one. Liam's looks like he's struggling a little bit as well, but I do believe it was too early onto these tyres. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps and he would have been good for it. I think that's what these guys are going to be doing. As you can still see the spray, and obviously the spray on the soft compounded tyres, you're gonna struggle. And I don't know whether that was a Jeff decision or not, but Dan is now up into a P2 position. It's looking very nice for him. Warning situation, I have no clue, but none of these guys have penalties at the moment. And that is a car, Alfa Romeo off, and that is Energetics who spun and got a chunk load of wing damage. Also another car that is spun, that is Fatality as well. These softs are not good, so don't pit onto them, guys. They are really not good. Emerson almost on a 2-minute lap and losing positions all over the place. And that's Energetics off again, off into the gravel. He's backwards now. He's not going to be happy. I'm not sure if this is probably a very big error by Jeff, because surely these guys are not. But there we go. Total P's Tango, the better version of the Williams driver, has actually got back past Paulie Orange, and is he going to be able to hold this now? Because Paulie Orange isn't actually letting him go very easily. We've got more yellow flags. That's now Liam, having an issue. He's now spun. We are getting spins absolutely everywhere on these soft compounded tyres. They're not right for the track. Emerson's struggling. We've got them all struggling. They're all going to just drop. It's not the correct decision. I'm not sure what the thought behind it was, but 5 or 6 drivers have all gone onto him, and we've got Energetics off yet again on his first lap on these softs. It's just, and it's not even his driving, if I'm being honest. It's just these tyres are not ready. I think they might be now, but there we go. I think they're now starting to kick in, but obviously Emerson's lost so much time. Droftas and that are now in the pits, but in the correct tyre. Now this is where it's going to spice it up. Chapelele gonna lose time because he is on pretty much a dry track on intermediates. Now this is going to be spicy, very spicy. Phil coming through Dan and Droftas, and now Tango coming into the pits. Droftas has actually set on a new compounded tyres now. Phil is going to get gobbled up here, guarantee you. Now these guys are really going to want to put the foot down and get through. So there's a 40-second gap at the moment between. I do think he'll be safe, if I'm being honest. the tyres aren't that bad. Yeah, it does look like he's going to be safe, but we have got another yellow flag. Liam, yeah, picking up a 3-second time penalty. And Droftas, maybe, I think he's feeling the grip, because he's actually turning in too early here. And there we go, look at this. And Dan passed Phil. Phil is really struggling on these tyres now. But Dan Droftas is going to get past him more than likely, just even before this straight. Problem is this car, there's not really much in terms of, and Phil's not battling this at all. He's letting it go. Obviously, he knows he's not on the right compound now. And Emerson's got a job to do, I'll tell you that. He's got to gain 4 seconds on the third place man. And here he comes. It's 20 seconds, 18 seconds, 14, 13 seconds, 12 seconds between Chapelele and Droftas. Well, Chapelele and Dan. So there was no real issue. We just like to dramatise things a little bit, hoping that he'd struggle, but it seems like he's a bit of a magician, doesn't seem to struggle with those sort of things. Is Elhan going to get out in front? Yes, he is. And now Nosey, is he going to get out in front? They're going to be going... No, Phil is just about going to get out in front and split Elhan and Nosey. Now, is Phil going to be able to make any more positions? Farf going purple for the first time this race, but that's only going to get toppled, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Abbasus now going purple as well. Energetics getting lapped currently. And his race is just falling apart as soon as those tyres went on just too early. Nova now getting past Farf. But now we've got Phil Razor all over the back of Elhan. You know how quick this man was in the dry. So I think he could get himself into P7. I think that any higher, that's P7 is the best he's going to get today. But you know what, that's not bad the way this race has gone. Elhan I do feel sorry for, because he had that drive through, proved very minimal. And the same, honestly, with Droftas, because I think he could have possibly won today if he didn't get that drive through. But there we go. It's things you can't really change that affect the race. Paulie Orange going purple. Now Tango going purple. Now Tango's lost positions to Paulie Orange again. Nova and Farf again together. Nova getting the better of him. Farhad now going purple. And is Nova gonna go purple now, or no? And we are on the final laps of the race, actually, which I've completely forgot about. There's only 2 laps left, and we've only lost 2 drivers. Very sorry for that, and we've got Fatality going around the trying to go around the outside of Energetics, but obviously they've got to get out of the way of the laps car, well, of Emerson. Now Energetics and Fatality battling as ghosts, but you know what, this is the closest thing we've got at the moment on track. And Fatality's going to get past him. There we go. And I'm just going to see that's very bumpy up there. Energetics. Now he's a lawnmower, and he's actually somehow kept a lot of speed. The Chapelele now going fastest again. And you know what? And he's completely outbraked himself there. And Farf picking up another 3-second time penalty. So that's going to be big in terms of what happens next. But it does look like Chapelele is going to be your race winner again for like the 4th or 5th time in a row now. He is really dominating this league now. We will be looking to recruit people. If Chapelele does decide to stay, we'll be recruiting people at similar pace, just to try and give him some sort of competition, because it's just impossible, isn't it? But Phil is up into P7. Elhan has gone fastest now. It is the last lap for Chapelele. I wonder if he will go. It's more than likely he'll go for this fastest lap of the race. But he has been dominant today, hasn't he? qualifying 4/10. I mean, it was close. People did temporarily take it off him, but in the race he's just left people. Whether that was down to the disconnecting Tango and maybe a drive-through, he may have got slightly lucky with other people's misfortune, but in the end of the day, these things happen and you've got to just take it, don't you? Take it and run. And he has. He's done exactly that. And your winner of China is going to be Chapelele for the 5th time and setting the fastest lap of the race by 2 seconds now. He is your race winner. Quality drive from him. Dan Murphy is going to come across the line in a P2. That is brilliant from him. This first time I think we're going to see him on the podium. Droftas in P3, finding his way in there always. Emerson in P4. Then we've got Paulie Orange coming ahead of Tango. These guys were battling all race long. But here we go. It's Paulie Orange, then Tango. Phil Race is going to get into P7. I would say that's a good result for him, the way this race has gone. And then Alahan 8th. Nosey P9. Brilliant result for him from P17. Farhad in P10. There's some things that he'll be looked at from him more than likely. But then we've got P11 is going to be Nova, 5 seconds behind. F1 Far is going to be in P12. P13 is Liam Abbasus, having a bit of a nightmare of a race this weekend, but in P14. And then we are going to have Andreas in P16. I will be inviting these guys to the party as soon as we cross the line. There we go. I'm going to have to do it, so we're not going to be able to see them. Actually, I should probably wait until we get the driver stand-ins, because we might need that. But yeah, there's a couple of things that I'm in particular going to be looking at in the stewards. I might be taking over a little bit. 4Ps, because obviously first hand. And I just want to get a little bit stricter on some of the things that are going on, especially preparing for next season and just knuckling down, or really taking this league now with 2 hands. We're going into season 3 soon, and we need to up it, don't we? But there we go. That is your top 3 coming through. The order is going to load in about 10 years. So we've got Chapelele, then Dan, then Droftas, Emerson, Paulie Orange, Tango, Phil, Alahan, Nosey, Farhad, Nova, Farf, Liam, Abbasus, Andreas, FTH, Fatality, Energetics, Gurman, and then Kingsholm, the 2 with the DNFs. Now I'm going to invite the 3 to the party right now, and hopefully we can get them all in. Just do want this thing. There we go. They're all at the top. Nicely done. And we'll see if we can get these guys in for a little bit of a chat. And we have got Droftas in here. He's eager to talk to me. He does love me. And we'll see if we get the other 2. We've got Dan. So, and there we go. We've got all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from P3 to P1, because that's the way we go. So, Droftas, talk to me. What do you think of the race? What happened with the drive-through? Was it I'm assuming it virtual safety car, but like, yeah, because I thought you'd pitted. Yeah, I know your teammate got it, but I thought you'd pitted just behind Chapelele and were just following him into the pits, but no, it confused me a lot, to be honest. But a good race overall, really. Dan, I think your best finish this season, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It wasn't a bad race for me. I managed not to get a drive through, and well, I got a bit lucky with that, to be fair. And then Droftas was on my ass the whole way, so he kept me honest.
Keeping yourself out of trouble, though, that's what you always do, isn't it?
That's what I do best.
The quality racing there. Yeah, everyone keeping out penalties as well. I think this is the best race we've had, really, in terms of finishing. But no, I saw you stuck behind Aleham for quite a while. Was he holding you up, or?
No, once you're in the dirty air or in a train, you can't get past. The gap stays the same.
So you were just literally stuck. Like, it was impossible
Stuck.
to get past.
Yeah, really was. And then because he pitted before I did, once he pitted, I went green every sector again.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with the rain, isn't it? It's impossible to pass.
Yep, no DRS to help either, so you're stuck.
Well, good race there for you.
Thank you.
We'll go to our very own little alien. Shat, another domination race. How'd you feel?
Oh, it was so much fun to drive in the wet.
I mean,
It's so much fun.
you were walking it. I thought Droftas was class in the rain, but you were driving away from him. So, what was the trick?
I know, I was going quicker each lap. I was just getting more confident. Just driving like it was dry.
No, your qualifying lap again though. Always
Nah.
putting in a.
It wasn't that good though.
Well, I mean, you were 4 tenths on pole. I mean, it's not your most dominating qualifying performance, but you know, it's 4 tenths, isn't it? It's a big amount.
Droftas had so much straight line speed. I don't know what makes it so lane. Like
He drives rocket ships.
What? What? Nah. Then you've got like 200% DRS.
Yeah, but yeah, another great performance by you, though, Chapelele. Another dominating performance.
Yeah,
Trying to chase down that championship, really, aren't you? But
yeah.
not. If you'd been here at the start, I think it would have been a completely different story. But
Then I would have turned line off.
but yeah, another great race there, and that is it for China. Then we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll have Robbie back. He'll probably do a bit better of a job than me next week. But we'll see you next week, and bye.